right. Welcome to the Pitchfork podcast for March 11, 2021. Welcome, Diesel Bomber, to the chat. I salute you, sir. All right. So this is gonna be a fun chat. We're gonna have a good old time today. Have an interesting time. Diesel Bomber. Yes, the dinner appointment went great yesterday. I have some dinner work I need to get done, but it is what it is. I'm gonna have a good old time with myself. They'll get my dinner work done, and hopefully you are having a great time in life as well. Hopefully things are going great for you as well, my friend. Hopefully things are fine and dandy. Hopefully everything is going great for you. And if not, then let's talk about it. You know, I don't mind. My phone line's gonna be open just for you, and we can have a little chat about it. And you can tell me what's going on in your life, and you can learn about what's going on in my life. We can actually support each other. You know, part of the reason why I run this podcast so I can have a conversation with you, so you can let me know how your life is going. You know, you don't have to just sit there in the comment section and wonder if your content creator cares about you. Well, I give you an incentive to actually care. I give myself an incentive to care, and that's live interactions with you guys. So that being said, I am the chat lines are open, and also my Discord is open. The link to my Discord should be in the chat. That where it should be pinned in YouTube chat. It's also in the Twitch chat. So therefore, you know, if you guys want to reach out to me, you have a way in which to do so. I'm gonna open up the Skype lines right now. Skype lines are open, so if you want to call in, you can do so. But till then, we're gonna get into the news. All right, so the news is gonna be interesting today. We got a lot of news to cover because we have been a little bit lacking with the live edits. So I'm gonna get back on my grind with that. I'm gonna give you guys more live edits. I'm gonna give you guys some more things so you guys can look at, you guys can enjoy. With that being said, let's go ahead and get straight into the news. Let's go ahead and it's a few news stories that are, I'm just gonna say, are quite exceptional. I'm just gonna say it like that, quite exceptional. Not gonna try to use the R word a little bit less. I use the N word a little bit more. Some people that complain about that. I'm going to give I'm gonna give some hot takes. All right, so I'm gonna give some hot takes in terms of what's happening around what's going on around the world. So there's a few things that are going to be very, very crazy. We're going to be talking about Tucker Carlson, talking about Arizona, talking about racism, talking about police, talking about several other things. But for our first story, the Pentagon has actually fired back at Tucker Carlson for some things that he said on Fox News. So let's get into the news story here. It's pretty interesting. All right, let me go ahead and change my window capture. And we're going to be doing a live recording here of this so you guys can get this a little bit faster. That way it's not going to be so drawn in. Because I have to do a lot of live edits. So if I can record this as I go along, it'd be a lot easier. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so this is from CNN. Arizona Republican lawmakers join GOP efforts to target voting with nearly 24 restrictive voting measures. One GOP senator even said that not everybody should be voting. But believe it or not, one of them is even quoted as saying that. Oh my God, that is just. Oh my God. That is. I can't believe it. I couldn't believe it when I was hearing it. It was, my God. Very, very. Wow. Oh my God. It's I'm not gonna lie. It was very, very crazy to hear. It was very crazy to hear, and I must say that it was quite interesting. It was quite interesting, and it lets you know where the Republican Party stands. Let's go ahead and get into this particular piece here, because I want people to kind of see where the Republican Party stands, the reason why so many minorities have a problem with the Republican Party. Months after former President Donald Trump and his allies in Congress attempted to overturn Arizona's election results, Republicans in the state's legislature are trying to make it harder for some residents to vote, targeting different elements of the system with almost 24 separate measures. A handful of the bills, including two that would impose new restriction on Arizona's popular vote-by-mail system and one that would limit its narrow voting window, have gained momentum and could pass. So once again, because of what happened with the Arizona results, because Joe Biden won Arizona, And it was such a shocker. I mean, just like Georgia, people thought for sure that Donald Trump was going to win Arizona, much like they thought he was going to win Georgia. And they have hinged their freaking bets and their arguments against this whole thing with voter fraud. They cannot accept that Donald Trump maybe towards the end started saying a bunch of crazy shit that turned people away from voting. They want to convince you. They want to convince you that it was all voter fraud. And so now they're going to restrict the rights of legal Americans to vote, because if you can't beat them, then cheat them. That's basically what the Republican Party around the country has basically become. They are part of a push by Republican-controlled legislators in several states to advance for strict new voting laws in response to Trump's false claims of widespread fraud in the 2020 election. So once again, it just reinforces what I've already told you. They are so hinged upon this whole voter fraud claim that pretty much the MAGA base, the Trump base that has not gone anywhere, who are still in those states. Well, those Republican legislators have already seen, what happened on January 6th, and they've seen how Ted Cruz and how Lindsey Graham, how they've been heckled at freaking airports for different reasons, but largely because they just the hardcore MAGA base just doesn't feel like the Republican Party has fought hard enough for Trump. And the problem with that is that when you feed people who are more geared towards conspiratorial thinking, or believe something, or believe that their dear leader or themselves to be, or well, I should say their dear leader and or themselves to be victims of something, well then you have to either feed those people or prepare for the backlash, because Trump has already come out and says, hey, don't donate to any rhinos, donate to my Save America PAC. So he's already gonna perceivably hurt fundraising, because there is no Republican fundraiser quite like Trump. Let's just be honest. Let's just keep it a buck. There is no Republican lawmaker, no Republican president who fundraises like this guy can.
Oh my God!
There's just none. Let's just call it a buck. I mean, it's just is what it is. No one fundraises like Donald Trump. I'll tell you what. Okay. There are more than 250 bills in circulation nationwide, according to the most recent tally by the Brennan Center, an unprecedented nationwide effort to roll back voter access. The list of states include Georgia and Texas, two other states with increasingly diverse electorates where Democrats have made recent gains, in Iowa, where Republican Governor Kim Reynolds signed a new law that makes it harder to vote early. Nearly 24 bills that will restrict voting were introduced in Arizona this single year, and several have advanced in recent weeks. So again, a lot of pressure have been applied to these Republican lawmakers, whereas they have to do this. They don't have a choice, because essentially, socially and politically, they have a gun to their head. They have to do what these people say. And that's the problem when you're dealing with a more conspiratorial base, in that these people are ravenous. You can't reason with them. It's just like, even now, you still, to this very day, right? To this very day, you cannot convince some people that it wasn't Antifa that stormed the Capitol. It's just unbelievable.
Oh my God! Wow! Oh my God!
I remember when Bearings, another content creator, he's got over 500,000 subscribers. I shared a meme about one of the Capitol rioters, and he's in Australia, and well, Bearing is not the actual Capitol rioter. It was the QAnon shaman, or Jake Angeli. I call him Buffalo MAGA Furry. And I shared that meme, and Bearing shared that meme, and it got a lot of responses. And the vast majority of responses, I can even show you, the vast majority of responses were people claiming that was actually Antifa that was storming the Capitol, that it wasn't the MAGA folks. And you can say, well, they're just trolling. But when you start getting hundreds of comments like that, hundreds upon hundreds of comments just like that, it stops being funny. It stops being a goddamn joke. The latest came Wednesday when a state house committee approved a bill that would turn the state's permanent early voting list into one that drops those who skip consecutive election cycles. Wow. So let's say that you don't vote in consecutive election cycles. They're just not going to add you into the early voting list, which is ridiculous because there's some people out there who just simply don't want to vote in every freaking election. There's some people out there, like, let's say that you're a part of the Trump base, right? And you didn't vote because you didn't think Trump was going to win, or let's say that you don't vote in the next election because you think the whole thing is like rigged, or there's a bunch of election fraud. I don't think you should be actually removed from the list because of that. You know, I mean, I don't agree with you. I don't think that you are right, but I don't think that you should be punished for that. The list, created with bipartisan support in 2007, now features 3.2 million people who used it to receive their ballots by mail for each election, and has helped spur a shift that resulted in about 80% of the state's votes being cast by mail. So they're gonna try to restrict. Unbelievable. And on Monday, the state Senate approved a bill that would require voters to submit identification paperwork with their mailed-in ballots instead of the state's current system of matching signatures on ballot envelopes with voters' signatures on file. Those voting by mail would need to provide affidavits with their date of birth and driver's license, a state ID or tribal ID card number, or would need to include their voter registration number and a copy of a utility bill. The same forms of identification are already required for in-person votes in Arizona. That bill hasn't yet been scheduled for a House committee vote. The Senate could also vote soon on a bill that would narrow Arizona's early voting window, starting it 5 days later and ending it early by requiring ballots to be postmarked by the Thursday before Election Day. Under the current law, ballots just have to arrive at the post office on Election Day. Those measures are part of a raft of new voting restrictions introduced at the start of this year's legislative session in Phoenix. Other proposals, including one that would allow the legislature to overturn election results, have not advanced. But in state houses, bills can sometimes be revived before legislators adjourn for the year. In Arizona, the session will end by April 14th. Again, look at these bills here, right? If you look at all these bills here in Arizona, and they provided a whole list. I mean, it is absolutely incredible what they've actually provided here. Look at this list here. All these it's just ridiculous because they're doing this because they're salty losers. These are mostly Republican bills. I guarantee you, if you were to look up these bills, they're all Republican. They're all Republican. It's just people have to realize that just because your guy lost, just because your party is not in power right now, doesn't mean that this can't not be used against you later on. And I think that's the biggest part that I think the Republican Party is missing, is that right now it doesn't matter, if you personally believe that this won't affect you going forward. If you are trying to convince me that Democrats are as corrupt as you say they are, that they don't care about the rule of law, they don't care about fair, freaking elections, well, do you ever foresee a situation in which Democrats could use the same voter restriction and the same voter laws against you as the Republican Party? That's the question that the Republicans have to really, really ask themselves. All right, so there we go. I got one recording done right there. That was pretty interesting. That was one article done. I want to go ahead and get another one done, just to get it out of the way. All right, so the next one I'm gonna be doing is about Tucker Carlson. So this one here. Okay, so I'm going to read out some comments in the chat first, though. Diesel Bomb says, hope everything went well at the dentist on yesterday. It did, sir. I salute you, sir. Welcome to the chat. DM Causes Chaos says, I need to go to the dentist. Everyone needs to. Tucker Carlson is a dumbass populist. I agree with you. He's a dumbass. He's definitely a dumbass populist. He's just being ridiculous with it and just, God, so over the top. But before we get into the next article, I need a little bit of fuel. right. All right. So, next piece. CNN Business. This is about Tucker Carlson. All right, so let's get into this. CNN Business. This is about Tucker Carlson. Tucker has said something that made some people really, really upset. Pentagon and senior members of the military call out Tucker Carlson for mocking women serving in armed forces. His words don't reflect our values. Wow. So,
oh my God! Wow! Oh my God!
Tucker, I think you might want to watch your mouth, man. I think between Andrew Cuomo and between the Me Too, I think you might want to shut the hell up, because you're not just targeting women, you're targeting women who are service members. You might want to shut what they call the fuck up. New York CNN Business. In an extraordinary rebuke, the Pentagon and several senior members of the U.S. military called out Fox News host Tucker Carlson on Thursday for a sexist segment in which he mocked women serving in the armed services. Carlson, who is effectively the face of Fox and hosts the top show on the right-wing channel, ridiculed President Joe Biden on Tuesday for saying that the U.S. military had created uniforms to fit women properly, created maternity flight suits for those who are pregnant, and updated requirements for hairstyles. So we've got new hairstyles and maternity flight suits, Carlson snarked. Pregnant women are going to fight our wars. It's a mockery of the U.S. military.
Oh my God! Wow! Oh my God!
Hey, Tucker, you do realize, you do know that a woman being pregnant is only 9 months of her life? Do you know that I've served with a lot of women who did their job, who were perfect soldiers? Do I think that some women were lazy and used the fact that they were a woman as to their fucking advantage? Oh, yes. But the vast majority were honorable service members that I would gladly serve with again. Gladly. Without a second guess. There's a lot of airmen, a lot of sailors, a lot of Marines, a lot of Coast Guardsmen, there's people going into the freaking Space Force who are women, who have been pregnant, who have had children, but who still serve. I've seen female drill sergeants. Some of the most hardcore soldiers that I've seen are female drill sergeants. And they serve their country just as well as a freaking man does. And for Tucker Carlson to say this, I mean, first of all, you're not a hardcore combat veteran like me. Only someone like me should be allowed to say this, and even I wouldn't say this. Okay? Was I hard on women when I was serving? Yes, because I held them to a certain standard. But to those women out there, if you ever felt like I treated you like that because you were a woman, I want you to know that you are absolutely wrong. I treated you exactly the way I treated men, because that's the best way to go about it. All right? This isn't, McDonald's or Walmart. This is the military. Treating everybody exactly the same, that is uniform. That is consistent with the Army values, which is why I did it. And the fact that you're sitting there mocking their service when you haven't, excuse me, let me go Google something real quick, because I'm just curious. Has Tucker Carlson served in the military? Because again, you're criticizing these military women, but you have never served. If I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna look up his Wikipedia page. I'm just curious. Have you ever served in the military? Let's see. I'm gonna just look at here because I'm very curious, right? I'm very curious because if you're sitting there criticizing the military, I don't see any mention of military service. In fact, the only mention that I see from here, Tucker Carlson, is that you tried to apply for the CIA but didn't get in. Okay. So I'm just curious, what gives you the right to criticize these service women who have the guts, the balls, the courage, the fortitude, the internal fortitude to join up during a time of damn war, to put their lives on the line, and if they are pregnant, put the lives of their children on the line. What gives you the right, Tucker Carlson, when you couldn't even get into the fucking CIA to be a damn pencil pusher? Carlson's comments have prompted a severe backlash for some of the most senior members of the U.S. military who took to Twitter on Wednesday and Thursday to call Carlson out for what they describe as harmful and divisive rhetoric. Wow, that is I salute them, because it is harmful and definitely divisive. I mean, I just don't get why this man has to tear down women who have made the brave sacrifice and the brave choice. Again, I want you to understand something. Because of the nature of what the job is, to a large extent, it is still going to be male dominated. And the fact that a woman comes into that space and not only oftentimes, fits in, but actually excels, that to me is worthy of the highest respect. Any woman who decides to go serve during a time of war, I want you to understand, I respect you. You got some balls. You have earned respect. You've got some balls. Seriously. And don't let what Tucker Carlson or any other bullshit artist tell you otherwise. Because I can tell you, less than 10% of the American populace, right, is qualified to be in the military service at any given time. And most of those people are going to be men. So any woman who makes it through, you not only have my respect, God damn it, you are the best of us. Because not only do you even qualify for military service, which is, by the way, in case you don't realize, it's actually exceedingly difficult. You go into a male-dominated space and you don't complain, you don't piss, you don't moan, you put on your big boy pants, and oftentimes you show the big boys how to do their job correctly. I've seen that. I've seen plenty of females in leadership positions who, I gotta be honest with you, I would take directions from them faster than I would take from any goddamn man. In fact, I'll tell you one that I served with. Her name was, it was actually a drill sergeant. Her name was Drill Sergeant Kittles Joyner. Drill Sergeant Kittles Joyner was a beautiful woman. Oh my God, gorgeous from head to toe. But let me tell you something. When it came to being a drill sergeant, she knew the regulations like the back of her damn hand. And one of the reasons why I knew regulations to this very day is because of Drill Sergeant Kittles Joyner. I met her at Fort Gordon in Georgia. And let me tell you something. She's one of the finest soldiers. I mean, physically and also professionally, one of the finest soldiers I've ever seen in my entire life, because she knew her damn job. Her uniform was fucking immaculate. She would dry clean. Most soldiers, they just simply throw their uniforms in the goddamn wash machine. No. She took pride in her uniform, son. She paid ridiculous amounts of money to dry clean all of her uniforms. Her uniforms were spotless. Her boots were spotless. She was the model example, the exemplary example of a soldier. And if you did not meet her standards, you would do push-ups until you met her standard. And for that, I respect that, because she was doing that not because she wanted to be hard on you or because she was a woman. She felt like she had to be harder. She did it to set an example. She was the example. She said, hey, soldier, look at my uniform. Now look at yours. Push. Get down on your face, and I want you to push and do push-ups until your uniform looks like mine. And while you're doing push-ups, you have to, do push-ups on freaking one hand and fix whatever the problem was. And it would take a long time. She would let you take some breaks, because you can't just work somebody to freaking, going out and passing out. But you would learn that whenever Drill Sergeant Kittles Joyner popped up, to have your uniform squared away, your freaking bunk, your room, everything had to be squared away. You better freaking, stand at, what do they call that? It was parade rest. Yes, whenever you are addressing a non-commissioned officer, and whenever you are addressing a commissioned officer, you stand at freaking attention, and you also salute them. And if Drill Sergeant Kittles Joyner caught you not doing that, you're gonna have a very, very bad day. So from that standpoint alone, Tucker Carlson, I got but one thing to say to you.
Enough from the clown.
Shut the hell up, you goddamn clown. Shut the hell up, you goddamn clown. I've served with plenty of service members who were women who were excellent. And quiet as kept, even the pregnant ones. Quiet as fucking kept, because, again, a pregnant woman will work hard because she wants to take care of her freaking children. There's a lot of single mothers in the freaking military. Don't get it twisted. Speaking to reporters Thursday, Pentagon spokesperson John Kirby said the Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin shared the same revulsion that many military leaders have expressed about the comments Carlson made. Kirby said the military still had a lot of work to do to become more inclusive, more respectful of everyone, especially women. We pledge to do better, and we will, Kirby said. What we absolutely won't do is take personnel advice from a talk show host or the Chinese military. Maybe those folks feel like they have something to prove. That's on them. You know what? I gotta say, John Kirby, I salute you. That is beautifully said. That is beautifully said. The pointed comments from Kirby came as a number of senior military leaders excoriated Carlson for his rhetoric. Women led our most lethal hunts with character. They will dominate any future battlefield we are called to fight on, tweeted the Sergeant Major of the Army, Michael A. Grinston. At Tucker Carlson's words are divisive, don't reflect our values. We have the most professional, educated, agile, and strongest NCO corps in the world. Absolutely. The NCO, again, I have respect for commissioned officers, but female non-commissioned officers, the sergeants, the freaking staff sergeants, the sergeant first class, sergeant majors, first sergeants, you are the most hardcore motherfuckers I've seen in my life. You have not seen a more hardcore soldier in a female sergeant major. Do you understand the shit that woman had to put up with? To get to her damn position? Do you realize the shit, right? The shit a female sergeant major, the highest NCO rank in the Army, has to put up with? Do you think that woman has never been sexually has never been sexually fucking harassed, targeted, talk shit to, said that because you're a woman you can't fucking do something? You think I've seen that happen to soldiers right in front of me? I've seen that happen to female soldiers right in front of me. It happens all the time. And when you have soldiers who are dealing with PTSD, combat fatigue, all kind of shit, right? They hear stuff like that, it discourages them. But a female sergeant major, that tells me that didn't discourage you. And you put on your big boy pants. You showed the boys how to be a fucking man sometimes. And that's the saddest part about the military sometimes. There are women who are more men than men. But again, just the fact that you have female first sergeants, you understand how much shit a female first sergeant or a sergeant major has had to put up with in her damn career. Because again, to make it to that rank, you have been in the freaking military for a long time, long before some of the changes that you see now, some of the more inclusive anti-harassment, the more anti-sexist stuff was actually included. They were around even then. And they are still around even now. That shows an amazing amount of mental fortitude that I gotta say most men do not have. General Paul Funk, who is the head of the Army Training and Doctrine Command, sets the policy and guides future changes for troops, tweeted that thousands of women serve honorably every day around the globe. Absolutely. I salute you, sir. I've served with those fucking women. They are great soldiers. They are beacons of freedom, and they proved Carlson wrong through determination and dedication, Funk added. We are fortunate they serve with us. I agree. I couldn't agree more. The senior enlisted leader at the U.S. Space Command, Marine Corps Master Gunnery Sergeant Scott H. Stalker, posted a video in which he called Carlson's show drama TV and said he wished to remind everyone that Carlson's opinion were based off of 0 actual days of service in the armed services. Salute, sir. Absolutely. You have not served in the fucking military one day in your goddamn life. You tried to join the fucking CIA, and even they didn't goddamn want you. They didn't. You weren't even qualified to be a goddamn pencil pusher, bitch. Shut the fuck up about my damn battle buddies. Major General Patrick Donahue posted a video of him conducting a reenlistment for one of the tens of thousands of women who serve in our army. Just a reminder that at Tucker Carlson couldn't be more wrong. Absolutely. Donahue said. Fort Hood Deputy Commanding General John B. Richardson, the fourth, tweeted, "Mothers in uniform fight and win our nation's wars. Fathers in uniform fight and win our nation's wars. Soldier is not a gender noun." God, beautiful, man. Woo! Salute to you, sir. Beautiful. Beautiful. I've seen women do some hardcore fight. I've seen women do some incredible shit in our army. And honestly, I don't think that because again, I used to be really, really hard on women in the military, and I realized how wrong I was. You know, when I look back on a lot of my service, there were some of the best soldiers. Like one of the best soldiers I think I've ever served with was a soldier out of Georgia. Her name was Dana Blue. And Blue, if you're watching this, I want you to know that you're one of the finest soldiers I've ever freaking served with. And if I could do it all over again, I would gladly put you on my team. And let me tell you why. When I was in Afghanistan, I was my final deployment. I was attached to a guard unit out of South Carolina, the 742nd Maintenance Battalion, and it's a Southern unit, so they believe that women shouldn't have to do a bunch of like work type of details, whereas you had to do a bunch of manual labor. And a lot of the other women were sitting down and not doing the manual labor, they like moving boxes and everything else that the men had to go out and do. Blue took it upon herself. The first sergeant said, women don't have to even do anything. Blue took it upon herself to help us. She says, if I want the same pay that you guys get, I want to do the exact same work. I mean, tell me that is not honorable. Tell me if you were to hear that, and if you were to hear Tucker Carlson's words, that you wouldn't be a little bit offended. Blue is not just one of the best women soldiers I've ever served with. She's one of the best soldiers, period. Because that coincides with the Army values of integrity. Doing the right thing even when you don't necessarily have to. Dana Blue, I salute you. If you ever watch this, I want you to know that you are proof that women have a place in the military. That you had the opportunity to sham and not do work, but you felt that you shouldn't have to skip work just because you were a woman. And that's why out of all the women in that unit, Dana Blue had the most respect. Because she was quite literally one of the guys. Lieutenant General Theodore D. Martin shared a photo of his daughter and said, contrary to what you may be hearing, she and other women are not making a mockery of our military. You wish your daughter was as awesome as mine. Martin added, so back off. Oh, my. That's the best response. You wish your daughter was as awesome as freaking mine is. I think that people like Tucker Carlson has to realize that when you say these things, right, it's just it gives people a certain impression of the right, and it's just so unfortunate because I know that most people on the right don't feel like this. I know most people on the right know women who serve in the military, and they would never say stuff like this. But unfortunately, because Tucker is a beacon of the right and he's a spokesman of the right, people are going to take this and interpret it as the right and the Republican Party attacking women soldiers. And that's so unfortunate because I think that it's an insult to people on the right who I know are soldiers, who happen to be female soldiers. And I just think that it's so unfortunate that hot bags of air idiots like Tucker Carlson, are on television saying this stuff and denigrating our service members who happen to have a freaking vagina, who are just as who in some cases are more hardcore than our male soldiers, who deserve respect for signing up during a time of war and joining a profession that, given the nature of it, is gonna be a boys' club to a large extent. And not only did they actually join and didn't fucking complain, they may do basic, they may do AIT. Many of them are combat veterans. The fact that they did all this and they didn't complain, they served with a smile on their fucking face. To have Tucker Carlson just shit on them. Fuck you, Tucker. And shut the fuck up, you goddamn clown. So, that's going to be a little bit of a clipping there. That's going to be a good bit of a long clipping. Let me go and read some comments here. Thank you guys for sticking with me for on that one. I had a lot to say about that one. I wanted to give Tucker Carlson a good piece of my mind. All right, so let's see. DM Cosplay says it's funny because the left wing populists will hear him anti-corporation and disregard everything else he said and think he's fucking base. Yeah. They will just listen to bits and pieces of what he says, and they be like, oh, he's base. It's like, not really. Diesel Bomber says, my woman is an electrician, and when she was pregnant, they put her in the office. I'm sure something similar would happen while in service. Yes, that exactly what happens. And by the way, your woman, if she's actually a fucking electrician, I salute you. That is a tough job, man. And a woman doing that, hey, you know what? I double salute you. Women like that, stick to her, man, because a woman that will sit there and help you wire some shit, that's a woman that you gotta fucking keep, yo. Tell her that she is definitely a real one, and that you better treat her right, cause men are looking for women just like that. Okay, I'm gonna let you know that right now. A hard-working woman who don't mind rolling up her goddamn sleeves. I love it, man. I love it. DN Cos Chaos says, yeah, my cousin got desk job while pregnant in the Army, and after she gave birth a couple of months, she went back to duty. Yeah, that's how it works. And I think that is so much more difficult to have a baby and then jump right back to duty. Like, that's crazy. You just made a life. Like, again, so I have a lot of respect for women who can balance first of all, being pregnant while being in the freaking military, balancing, actually maintaining military bearing and maintaining standards, having a baby, and then jumping back to being a soldier, often deploying to combat right after having a goddamn baby? And you telling me that's not fucking impressive? I salute all the military moms. Salute you. That is fucking difficult. It really is. I've seen it happen. It's fucking crazy. Manic Panda says serving is hard enough. Serving as a woman can be harder. Serving while pregnant takes and even more fortitude. I like to see Tucker do anything that I'm hard. He can't. DN Chaos says Tucker Carlson the pistol pusher. Yeah, exactly. He couldn't even cut it with the freaking CIA. So I know you ain't making it in goddamn combat. I know you ain't making it there. So before you talk shit, I would try to do what these women do. So it's gonna be pretty interesting. The next one's gonna be a short one, but I want you guys to hear this one. All right, so Matthew McConaughey might be running for governor of Texas against Greg Abbott. That's pretty crazy. I didn't think that Matthew McConaughey would ever run for or ever get into politics, but according to CNN Entertainment, Tucker Carlson also spoke about this a little bit earlier. I was watching some some things that we're talking about McConaughey potentially running for a gubernatorial spot in Texas, and I think it's the perfect time to do so because Greg Abbott is a little bit weak because of what happened during the Texas winter storms. People are really, really upset with Greg Abbott, and they are definitely upset with Ted Cruz, and they're definitely looking for some change. All right, so Matthew McConaughey says he is seriously considering a run for Texas governor. The true detective star, whose home state is Texas, says he is thinking it over, and it may be what he wants to do with the next chapter of his life. So Greg Abbott, man, you might want to be a little bit careful because Matthew McConaughey is popular. People like him, and people even on the right like him because he came out and he started speaking out against the left a little bit. And Tucker and several other people featured him right on their channel. So I want you to understand that Matthew McConaughey could actually become governor of freaking Texas. Because you can't tell me that you can't see Matthew McConaughey showing up on the Joe Rogan Experience pushing his freaking run for Texas governor. You again, fundraising is going to be easy for him. People know who he is. He's a household name. Greg Abbott is nowhere near as popular as Matthew McConaughey. And on top of that, the biggest bow in McConaughey's quiver is that women like him, especially white women. They like him a lot. They think he's the ideal sexy man. No matter how old Matthew McConaughey gets, he is still a sex symbol. Greg Abbott is in the middle of a freaking scandal with the Texas winter storm thing. If relaxing restrictions for COVID, if that results in a freaking spike in cases, that in combination with McConaughey's clear popularity, his sex appeal with those voting white women, and the regular Joe appeal that he has with white men, I'm going to tell you, Greg Abbott, you might be in some serious trouble, yo. Serious trouble. On a recent episode of Crime Stoppers of Houston's The Balanced Voice podcast, McConaughey told host Rania Mankiewicz that running for governor is a true consideration. I'm looking into it now again. Where is my leadership role? He said, because I do think I have some things to teach and share. And what is my role? What's my category in my next chapter of life that I'm going into? Texas Governor Greg Abbott is up for re-election next year. Wow. So Greg Abbott, man, I will start worrying. Back in November, McConaughey was asked the same thing on the Hugh Hewitt show and said, I don't know. I mean, that wouldn't be up to me. It would be up to the people more than it would be up to me. Look, politics seems to be a broken business to me right now. And when politics redefines its purpose, I could be a hell of a lot more interested, he added. So Matthew McConaughey, he's talking about running against Greg Abbott. And I got to tell you, man, I don't think Greg Abbott can beat Matthew McConaughey's popularity. I think that Greg Abbott might be in some serious trouble because, again, you had people in Texas who are trying to double down on the whole thing with the whole Texas winter storm thing. You even had Joe Rogan come out and say, oh, trying to like defend, Ted fucking Cruz, and you got Trump and Greg Abbott blaming their windmills. I'm gonna tell you that has left a really, really bad impression with a lot of Texans, and the popularity with Greg Abbott has been slipping. And if offered an alternative, I think Texas might pick Matthew McConaughey because, given the fact that Donald Trump, won in 2016, it definitely shows that celebrities can win. And if any celebrity can definitely win, it is somebody who is as well liked and as well loved by the left and the right. Even centrists like this guy. He has an appeal that can't go away. When you think about most Hollywood celebrities, Matthew McConaughey can't be canceled because too many women like him. So Greg Abbott, I would worry. Oh my God, I would worry. So there we go. It's another clipping. We got another one done there, and I think it's very, very interesting that I've pressed the record button on Streamlabs, so now I can actually just directly record it instead of just getting like an actual copy of the freaking live stream and just cutting it up. No, I can just actually record the individual segments. So I do like that I can do that now. And that is pretty nice. That's pretty nice to have that. So I'm gonna be going over some other news. I'm gonna slow it down a little bit because I've been breezing through. I've already got 3 stories done, so that's 3 live edits that are definitely done because those videos are already in my video folder right now. All I gotta do is just get like a thumbnail and just upload it, right? So all I gotta do is just upload it. So there's a few stories on TMZ that I want to cover. That I thought were pretty interesting. Some people ask me, how do I keep my energy up? And the one thing that I'm going to tell you is that I do a lot of exercising, and I do a lot of combat training. And so I want people to kind of work on self-improvement. If you want to know how I got into shape where I got like an 8-pack now, I can teach you how. It was difficult, but I want people to work on self-improvement. So I don't mind sharing tips that can help you to improve your body. So before we get into the next story, though, it's going to be 420 Smoke 'em if you got 'em. 420 Smoke 'em if you got 'em. It's a pro-liberty podcast. If you don't like the fact that I smoke weed in podcast or whenever I'm not smoking weed, because my gun is in my safe now, whenever I'm not smoking weed that I carry a gun on me, then you won't like this channel. It's a pro-liberty channel, right? This is very much a pro-liberty channel. I want people to do what they want on this channel so long as you're not hurting people, right? So I do consume cannabis on camera. Not only do I do it to, because I like cannabis, I do it to get rid of the freaking stigma, right? You know, in many parts of the country, people out there are stigmatizing the consumption of cannabis. And I'm tired of that. I want people to see cannabis for what it is. It's just a plant. It's a medicine too. And it's harmless. All right. All right. So let's get into the comment section here. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead and read the comments here. DM Cosmic Chaos says windmills is dangerous to bird. Had me weak. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Manic Pazzer says, imagine going up against Matthew McConaughey in a popularity contest. Laugh out loud. First there was Reagan, then Arnold, then finally Trump. Actors and celebrities are now viable political candidates. Wow. Cosmic Squirrel says, hey y'all, I finally caught another on live. Cosmic Squirrel, how you doing, sir? I salute you. Welcome to the chat. All right, Man Pan says, hey Squirrel, how you doing? Welcome to the chat. Let's have a little fun. Let's get into this another spicy meatball. The Weeknd is saying that he is not providing any music for the Grammys, according to TMZ. The Weeknd boycotting Grammys forever. No music for you. Wow. Now, if you don't know who The Weeknd is, he's a popular musical artist. He's made a lot of hit songs. This is a very big deal. The Weeknd is boycotting the Grammys forever. All right, so according to TMZ, The Weeknd is boycotting the Grammys forever. Wow, he says no music for you. That is, whew. Oh my God! Wow! Oh my God! That is crazy. So let's go find out the reason why he's boycotting the Grammys. Okay, The Weeknd's only getting more heated with the Grammys. He's boycotting the award show, and not just for 1 year, but for good. For good.
Oh my God.
The singer drew a line to saying Thursday, saying he'll boycott the award show from now on because the secret committees he believes are responsible for selecting nominees. He told the New York Times he'll no longer allow my label to submit my music to the Grammys. Boom. Boom.
Oh my God. Wow. Oh my God.
Mind you, in 2016, he actually won some Grammys. That's a Grammy Award winning artist is saying that he doesn't want to, and mind you, he's won more than one of them. So it's not like he's just complaining because he's never won a freaking Grammy. He's won more than one. But many people have spoke about these secret committees, right? He's not just talking about something that's like racial, right? He's not specifically referring to anything racial. He's saying that there's people out there who just select these people who many of people, many people who happen to be celebrities are saying that, it doesn't come down to talent or record sales or popularity or cultural impact, or it just comes down to who you know. It's the latest chapter in Abel's beef with the Grammys after accusing them of snubbing his critically acclaimed album After Hours, following a bitter back and forth over what his camp claimed was an ultimatum from Grammys brass: you, us, or Super Bowl, or the Super Bowl. Wow. So they were saying that according to his camp, the Grammy committee was basically saying you could either do this Grammy show or you can do Super Bowl, the Super Bowl halftime show. Which one do you want to do? Our sources has said there was a growing suspicion the Weeknd's decision to play the Super Bowl halftime show cost him had actually cost him Grammy nominations. Again, this is actually TMZ saying this. All right. So it's not just the Weeknd saying this. It's TMZ also saying this. And I can tell you, I have followed the Weeknd, and I followed several other artists who are white, black, Asian, who are all saying the exact same thing, that it does not come down to talent. It comes down to these secret committees who, if you're friends with them, or if you're Asian or your label are friends with them, or friendly or friendly towards them, or if you slide a little bit of money under the freaking table, you get freaking. Sorry about that. I had to edit that one out. From what I understand, from what I've been hearing, is that it comes down to who you know and not necessarily what you know. Grammy's chief honcho Harvey Mason Jr. begged to differ, saying there was nothing corrupt about Abel not being nominated. Still, The Weeknd, who's previously won 3 Grammys, claimed the award show severely lacks transparency. He said they mean nothing to him now. He's won 3 Grammys, and he's saying they mean nothing to him now. That's how you know that no matter how much you may say, again, he's not mentioning anything racial. It's just he's saying people are getting snubbed. And I got to say, I did hear his album, and I got to say, his album was fire. I mean, it was fire. I mean, it'd be one thing if this were not a 3-time Grammy-winning artist, right? But this is a 3-time Grammy-winning artist. I mean, it's not as if he's just saying this, right? And I think that it's very, very interesting that Kanye West, he came out with that one tweet. He was talking about how musical artists they don't actually control much of their music and much of their destiny. You got The Weeknd, he's going after these freaking labels. The Me Too movement have been exposing these high level music executives who basically run these these freaking casting couch type of operations. The music industry is very much political. And it is very nice to see musical artists speaking up and saying something. And again, it would be one thing if this were like Vanilla Ice, But this is a fucking Weeknd, a 3-time Grammy-winning artist saying this. It's not as if he's saying this because he hasn't won a freaking Grammy before. He clearly has. So why is he saying this? Why would he be saying this? He's won it 3 times. That doesn't tell me that he's saying this strictly because he got freaking snubbed. He's saying this because of the freaking politics. And I could not agree more. All right, so let's go ahead. Got that recording in. All right, so I got that recording in. That's going to be a little bit of editing there. I did stutter a few times there. Now, I apologize for that. But we're going to get into some more stories here because there's a lot of stories I got to cover. Oh, my gosh. And, again, I'm working this hard for you guys. You may have noticed a lot of uploads from me. And, again, I just want to be able to give you guys content. Because the one thing about me is I have put out a lot of community posts. I put out a lot of polls. And, yeah, it is a way to bypass the algorithm in case the algorithm is suppressing you. And they suppress anyone that's like me. However, I justify doing that many community posts and polls because I also put out a lot of videos. You have to also admit that. Look at the amount of content that I've put out in the past 3 months. How many content creators have been keeping up with that? I'm the hardest working man on YouTube. You got to concede that. You got to concede that, man. Whenever I get subscribers, I work hard for those subscribers, man. Yeah, my subscribers growth has dipped, and you know, but again, the subscribers that I do get, I work hard for them. Do I not? Do I not? By the way, it's a sour skunk. Sour skunk. It's smelly, but it's sour and it keeps your energy up. Oh, it's very robust. Very robust smell. Let's get to this next piece. This is going to be pretty crazy. All right. Well, first we're going to read the comments. All right, so Dean Cosplay says, the Grammys has shit, dude. The committees are a bunch of boomers. Yep, true. Cosmic Squirrel says, it used to be record sales. No one watches it anyways. Very true. Dean Cosplay says, a lot of politics in the music industry. Very true. Squirrel, you can boost your record sales by selling bundles. Yeah, that zero to do with music. Yeah, absolutely. Cosmic Squirrel says, yeah, it's the same old pricks writing most of the music too. Dean Cosmic also says, I think they fixed that loophole recently. Yeah, totally agree. All right, so speaking of music, we're into another song, another story about music. So this is gonna be about Dr. Dre. All right, so TMZ has a story about Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre. Wow, it's his divorce has been crazy. So Dr. Dre's estranged wife denied restraining order after he calls her greedy bitch in song. Again, I want to briefly explain something, and before we get into the main story, I want you guys to see me on camera real quick. So you might be asking, how is it that this woman can try to stop him from speaking about her during a divorce case? So let me explain to you something about family court. So family court has this thing called prior restraint orders. And prior restraint orders, those are orders where a judge can order you to not speak about your own case, which is a clear violation of the First Amendment. They can even order a journalist to do this. Like myself, I was ordered to not speak about my case, but I'm a journalist, and I'm pretty sure that if I were to appeal this or take it up to federal court, that would win. So that's why they probably ain't gonna push that too hard nowadays. But again, that's what a prior restraint order is. So whenever you hear that, that's what it is. All right. So let's get back into the main story, because again, I want you guys to understand the reason why she could even file this in the first place, and the reason why she was doing it, because of a prior restraint order. Dr. Dre's estranged wife denied restraining order after he calls her greedy bitch in song. Let's get into this right here. This is published on March 11th, 2021. Dr. Dre's wife just got shut down by the judge in her divorce case after claiming she fears for her safety because he refers to her in his new track as a greedy bitch. According to docs obtained by TMZ, Nicole Young requested an emergency domestic violence restraining order, citing the song released last month in which Dre calls her a bitch and a perjurer. Nicole says this is nothing new, but claims that with the new track, he has upped the ante and is now outright threatening me to keep my mouth shut or else. It's just unbelievable. He called you a greedy bitch in a song, and now you call that a threat. Many people. It's not just women who do this, but it's a lot of chicks who want to take advantage of very, very rich men like Dre. It is unbelievable. But again, I want you to hear this part.
Kill me with the lies and that perjury. I see you trying to fuck me while I'm in surgery. And I see you deathbed on some money shit. Greedy bitch, take a pic. Yeah, you know how money get. No matter how you...
So again, it's a rap song. Sure. Was he should he have picked his words more wisely? Sure. But it's just a rap song. I mean, Eminem killed his mother and ex-wife in a rap song. I don't see how she thought this is gonna go anywhere. This man produced Eminem. He produced the man who killed his mother in a fucking rap song, and you thought a judge was gonna take this shit seriously? He is still making money off of the original records that Eminem put out. The fucking Slim Shady LP, the Marshall Mathers LP, fucking Curtain Call, all that shit. Dre is still getting royalties off of that shit. He produced the reason why this shit was gonna fail, bitch. You dumb idiot. You damn clown.
Enough from the clown.
According to the docs filed by attorney Samantha Spector, Nicole feels that this latest alleged threat, along with past allegations of spousal abuse, justify an emergency restraining order, but the judge begged to differ and denied her request because of insufficient evidence. As for Dre's response to her allegations filed by Laura Wasser, he says he's only seen or spoken to Nicole one time since she filed for divorce in June 2020, and that was when she visited him at the hospital in January following his brain aneurysm. Dre says he's had no contact with her otherwise and categorically denies all of her abuse claims. He adds since she made her allegations in August, he realized he had no idea who the woman was that he married, and he wanted nothing to do with her. Sometimes you just don't know a person. Sometimes you just, and again, you can just look through the pictures of like the happier times, man. It's just sometimes, again, I went through that with my marriage. You know, you just don't know a person. And it was the same thing with my ex-wife. She just wanted money. You know, she saw veteran rated at 100% with the freaking Department of Veteran Affairs. He's got benefits. He's got money. He's got a house. And she tried to take all that during the freaking divorce proceedings. So you can't expect for me to see that. See what this woman is doing. I mean, I just heard line, and sure, I would have picked some better words. But again, Dr. Dre produced the reason why her attempt was going to fail. He produced Eminem. And by comparison, he was awfully tame compared to the shit that Eminem used to freaking say. The freaking songs, the freaking albums that you can still buy in stores right now. You can still order right now. You can go on YouTube and listen to right now. You heard it. Is there anything that you heard in that song that is remotely harmful? I mean, yeah. It sounds horrible. It sounds violent, but it's a rap song. You've heard worse in a damn rap song. Half the songs out there about relationships are about exes. Okay. So I just don't understand how you ever thought this was going to go anywhere. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. This isn't the first time that the judge has shut down Nicole. The judge previously denied her emergency request to advance her hearing on spousal support, consolidate her civil case with her divorce, seal portions of her divorce file, and obtain in advance for her attorney fees. Again, she wants to seal it so that Dr. Dre can never speak about it, or if it's ever mentioned, no one could ever go to the court documents. Why would you do that if you're being an honest person? The same thing that my ex did, because my ex doesn't want people to know that she's a registered Democrat who used marijuana against me in the state of South Carolina to keep me away from my kids. She doesn't want people to know that she tried to take my house that I got with my combat money. She doesn't want people to freaking know that. So that's why you have chicks who do shit like this. Because if it's known to the general public what some of these people do to some of these men out here, it would have a lot. It would change family court. It would make people realize the problems with the freaking system. How so many black men like Dr. Dre and like myself and Aries Spears. The list goes in. Walter Scott. So many of them get trapped up in the freaking system, and you have chicks who are clearly taking advantage of it, and no one says anything because they have a freaking vagina. Well, when it started happening to freaking Adele, all of a sudden it's a freaking problem then. Now I want people to understand it is not so much a man versus woman thing. It is a system versus family thing. The system tears apart family. The system makes it apparent and makes it appealing to tear apart families. It makes it appealing to a woman to take advantage of a man who has a whole lot of money. It makes it appealing to Adele's ex-husband to take her to the freaking cleaners. The system incentivizes divorce. It doesn't incentivize love. It doesn't incentivize happy families. It incentivizes messy divorces because it gives us clicks. It gives us stories. It allows us to be in somebody else's business. It also incentivizes greedy people who have no talent, who have no real drive of themselves to steal everything from you, profit off of your labor, and then when they get to a better position in life, pretend like you did nothing. That's what the system incentivizes. And I think that Dr. Dre and so many other men, and even in some cases in the modern day, even freaking women, I think they are the victims of. And it's so sad to see because I think that at one point they could have been a very, very happy couple, but when family courts and family court judges incentivize divorce versus love, you're gonna always get these results. Yeah, so that was another clipping. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty interesting story. And I think that's, again, you notice how I gave you so much information, like even towards, like, imagine that being like an actual separate video where I gave you the actual background about prior restraint orders, right? Imagine that, right? Imagine that's every video. That's the kind of content that I want to do. Give you the news, also give you my take, but also give you additional info so that you can go out and actually research for yourself and learn things about the world, learn things about the country that you live in, or learn things about like certain subjects in general. I know a lot and I want to share it with you. That's the point of this channel. Yeah, I crack jokes, but again, I just want to also make it funny, right? So let's go ahead and read some comments. Cosmic Squirrel says, that sounds bloody delicious, dude. Maybe she is a greedy bitch. Yes, she is. Very likely all that alimony is a mess. Manic Panda says, singing about exes is like a quarter of all modern songs. Manic Pandas, I love you, man. You are absolutely right. Cosmic Squirrel says, greed does terrible things. And you know he spoiled his freaking wife. I bet she's expensive. Yep, she definitely is. I wonder what does she do for money? Probably not a whole lot. That's so fucked. Yeah, the family courts are rotten. Absolutely, they are. So once again, guys, I covered. That's like what, the fifth story. So I think do you guys want me to continue? Because I can continue. I can keep going, man. I feel high energy today, man. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's something in the weather, but it could also be that I met a nice young lady. I'm a little bit happier than usual. Tell you a little bit about her. She's a little bit older than what I am. But she's only older by a couple more years. And we're going to look at some stories that are quite interesting. You're going to see some interesting stuff. We're going to get into an NBA story. About Myers Leonard, a white NBA player who said some interesting things during a live stream. Made some anti-Semitic comments and got him in trouble. So, white NBA player said some comments, got him in trouble. Got him in a lot of trouble, man. Oof, he got fined and suspended. Lost his multi-million-dollar job because he couldn't keep his damn mouth shut. Man, you know, these NBA athletes and these damn celebrities, I don't even understand why you even got a goddamn Twitter. Why are you on social media? You have enough money, right? Well, you can have people who got their stream and damn tweet for you. Why are you on the internet? It is not a safe place for you. Retreat to your damn mansion. Retreat to your damn safe space. All right. It's going to be funny. This is going to be funny as hell. Have a little swig of some moonshine real quick. Because this one's going to be funny as hell. All right, man. All right. So this is going to be bad. All right. So NBA player Myers Leonard. He has been suspended and fined. And for some pretty oh my God, spicy reasons. From TFC Sports, NBA's Myers Leonard punished for an anti-Semitic comment, fined and suspended, published on March 11, 2021. So Myers, I heard what he said. It was yeah.
Give your meat a good old rub.
It was spicy.
That's it.
Nice and hot.
Nice and hot.
Yeah.
Hot and
Spicy meat.
Yeah,
boy. And it was quite spicy. It was interesting. So let's get to this article. The NBA has suspended Miami Heat player Myers Leonard for 1 week for hurling an anti-Semitic comment during a video game session, TNC Sports has learned. Leonard was also fined $50,000. For the record, Leonard will make more than $9 million in contract money this season. There's more. The NBA says Leonard will be required to participate in a cultural diversity program. Oh, shit. How bad was the comment, right? How bad was the comment? I bet you're wondering, how bad was the comment, right? How bad was the comment? Right. The NBA commissioner, Adam Silver, said Leonard's comment was inexcusable and hurtful, and such an offensive term has no place in the NBA or in society. Mind you, Adam Silver, I want to mind you, let me show you a picture of Adam Silver, and I want you to keep in mind, Adam Silver is Jewish. Adam Silver is Jewish. Now, you might be asking, what was Leonard's comment? What did he say? What did he say? What did he say? Right? Oh man, what did he say? I want to I want you to hear what this man said. I want you to hear what this man said. Now, what did he say? How bad was it? Mind you, he was a part of FaZe Clan. He was Dave distanced himself, right? I want you to hear this. It's pretty spicy. It's pretty spicy. It's a spicy meatball.
Let's go, baby.
Fucking cowards. Don't fucking snipe me, you fucking kike bitch. I just dropped.
So he called somebody a kike. He called somebody a kike. Okay, so we're going to look up now, Adam Silver. Okay, Adam Silver. Now, mind you, this is the NBA commissioner. He called somebody a kike, right? This is the NBA commissioner, Adam Silver. This man called somebody a kike live on Twitch, right? I want you to understand. Silver was born into a Jewish American family. This is his Wikipedia page, and grew up in Rye, New York. Oh my God! Oh my God! You an NBA player who calls somebody a kike with an NBA commissioner who comes from a Jewish American family. That is your boss. Oh my God! Oh my God! Wow! Oh my God! What is a kike? Let's go look it up real quick. Let's go look up what a kike is. A kike. Let's go to Wikipedia real quick. The earliest recorded use of the word dates to the 1880s. The source of the term is uncertain, but the Encyclopedia of Swearing stated the most reasonable and most likely origin of the term is the one proposed by Leo Roston, according to whom the word kike was born on Ellis Island, where there were Jewish migrants who were also illiterate or could not use Latin alphabet letters. When asked to sign the entry forms with the customary X, the Jewish immigrants would refuse to do so, and because they associated with an X with the cross of Christianity, instead they drew a circle as a signature on the entry forms. The Yiddish word for circle is kaikel, and for little circle, kaikale. Before long, the immigration inspectors were calling anyone who signed with an O instead of an X a kaikel or kaikale or kaiki, or finally and succinctly kike. So it is a derogatory term that was used towards Jewish immigrants who simply didn't want to write a cross. So they were called kikes. That's the history of the word. And Myers Leonard, a white, you are a white NBA player in a predominantly minority league with the fucking commissioner who is Jewish, and you use that word live on the goddamn internet. Oh my God! Wow! Oh my God! He was playing Call of Duty Warzone as a multi-million-dollar NBA player. And he said that live with the Jewish NBA commissioner. That's just help me out here. Help me, Jesus. Help me make sense. If your boss is a Jew, why, Jesus? And you're white, You a white NBA player. They are looking for you to fuck up. They are looking for you to fuck up. Why would you do this? I don't understand. Listen, if you're the one black guy in the goddamn Ku Klux Klan, right? You probably wouldn't go around calling people crackers, right? Because you are the weakest link. You are the weakest link. Oh, my God. You are the weakest link. Of course, the NBA commissioner, Adam Silver, would say it's inexcusable and hurtful and such an offensive term that has no place in the NBA or in our society. He's a damn Jew. He's a damn Jew. That's why he said that you are white in the National Basketball Association. How the hell did you think this was going to fly? What? Oh, my God. What was you thinking? Silver continued. Yesterday, he spoke to representatives of the Anti-Defamation League to better understand the impact of his words, and we accept that he is genuinely remorseful. We have further communicated to mayors that derogatory comments like this will not be tolerated, and that he will be expected to uphold the core values of our league: equality, tolerance, inclusion, and respect at all times moving forward. Leonard's Miami Heat teammates and coaches spoke about the situation during a media session on Wednesday. Head coach Eric Spoelstra said he's been in touch with Leonard, who he considers a good human being. Spoelstra says that Mayor Leonard feels really bad about using the anti-Semitic K word during a video game streaming session and is getting a better understanding of why the word is hurtful and dangerous. Miami Heat star Udonis Haslem also spoke out about Leonard's comment, saying he has a bunch of Jewish friends and reached out to make sure they know hate speech is not tolerated within the Heat organization. Wow. This is listen. You got to know your place, man. I'm not saying that because he's white, he shouldn't be allowed to say or say that, but you have to have awareness of what's going on around you. If you're live streaming a video game podcast and you're playing on Twitch, there's a lot of kids who are watching you, man. And kids look up to basketball players as heroes, man. You got fans, bro. There were a lot of people watching that pod. Again, the only reason why we know about this is because people had to be watching it, because that's how they found out about it. There were kids probably watching that, man. You're a role model for those kids. Kids look up to sports athletes all the time. You have the responsibility, you have a serious responsibility, especially for young white kids who may think that they're not good enough to become basketball players in a predominantly black league. You're a role model for those kids. You are who they look up to. And you set a atrocious example for those kids. And I do believe that he is sorry, and I do think that he should be given a second chance. He shouldn't be canceled. Because otherwise you haven't heard anything else about this guy. Give him a second chance. Don't just throw him away. Let this be a teachable moment that hey, you made a mistake. You got punished for it. He got fined $50,000 in a week suspension. That, god damn. I mean, $50,000 for saying one word. Yeah, but I don't care how much money you make. That's not cheap. All right, so he did pay that. He did pay that fine. All right, but I do think that we should have to show people that you can make a mistake and you can be forgiven. He didn't kill nobody. He didn't rape nobody. He's not a Nazi. Right? Let's give him a second chance. I think this kid. I think he's a decent player. Not a freaking star player by any means, but a decent player and probably a decent guy And we shouldn't judge people off of one snapshot of one stupid decision. He's only 29 years old. Suppose he lives to be a fucking 100. Do you want for the next 71 years for this man to be judged off of this one incident? I think that we as society, we can definitely condemn these actions, but we can also be a little bit more pragmatic. Let's be reasonable about this. He made a mistake. He apologized. Let's leave it there. He didn't kill nobody. He didn't rape nobody. He did something very stupid, something that was ill-advised. But I think that he's definitely learned his lesson. 50,000 reasons to learn your lesson. God damn. Woo!
Oh my God! Wow! Oh my God!
This man got fined $50,000 for something that happened off the court. God damn. That was, mayors, that was one expensive word, wouldn't it? Shit. I wouldn't, listen, and the fact that he had to pay that kind of money and he still cooperated, that's how you know, man. He's sorry. He doesn't want to lose his career. I don't think he actually hates Jewish people. I just don't think, I think he's just an idiot. But I think even an idiot deserves a freaking job, Just in that moment, he was being a big idiot. But I think he could be definitely forgiven. All right? Let's be reasonable, guys. Let's not cancel him. All right. So there we go. I thought that was a pretty good take. Yeah, listen, that was done. Let's go read some comments here. Cosmic Squirrel says, "Stupid bastard." Absolutely, he's getting the re-education now. Clockwork Orange, yeah. But again, I just think that he has paid the fine. He got freaking suspended. He had to apologize. He had to do the freaking cultural diversity training. He didn't commit a crime here. He paid $50,000. Yeah, he's making $9 million, granted, but $50,000, that's still 50 stacks. God damn. That's an expensive word, boy. Oh my God. But I do think that once all that's done, it's over. Let's not ruin this whole kid's damn career. He's only 29 years old. I mean, let's be reasonable. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the show today. Let's go ahead and check to see who's in the Discord. All right. I heard it's a lot of action in Discord, and we're going to be doing a lot more work in the Discord. Let's go and see Skype. All right, guys, that's going to be it for the show today. Thank you for joining me, guys, today. Thank you, Cosmic Squirrel. Thank you, Manic Pandas. Thank you, DM Cosmic Chaos, Diesel Bomber, everyone else who joined me today. I love you all. Thank you for joining me. Remember, I'm going to be doing the show every day at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard time. I do YouTube shorts. I also do minute or less content. I also do live edits. So you're going to be seeing live edits of the show that you just watched here. With that being said, guys, wear a mask. Don't get COVID. Horns up. Peace out. Good night. And good luck.